Hello everyone. Today we have Geet Nair with us. He lives in Mumbai, but ये नॉर्थ ईस्ट मार्केट के लिए फ्राइड स्नैक्स का बिजनेस करते हैं लाइक रिंग्स जो कि हम सब बहुत ही मजे से खाते हैं. सो लेट्स हियर फ्रॉम हिम कि इनकी फैंटेसी क्रिकेट की स्टोरी क्या है, कब से खेल रहे हैं, कितना जीत रहे हैं, कैसे टीम्स बनाते हैं और इनकी क्या एडवाइस है. सो गीत, सबसे पहले बताइए थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में कि आप कौन है, क्या करते हैं, कब से फैंटेसी क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं.
Hi everyone. Basically, fantasy cricket. I was in the US. जब I started playing fantasy, वहाँ पे I
हम्म.
used to play NFL, fantasy. So I used to follow sports regularly. And
ओके.
lineup optimizer जो है, I was familiar with this before.
हम्म.
Um, and when I came back to India, I got introduced by someone to Dream 11.
हम्म.
और उस टाइम पे ऐप वो ऐप स्टोर पे नहीं था. वी यूज्ड टू डाउनलोड इट थ्रू द वेबसाइट. जो
ओके.
इट वाज नथिंग लाइक व्हाट इट इज टुडे.
ओके.
Back in 2015 or 16, I'm
हम्म.
not sure. But anyway, so Dream 11, when it comes to cricket, you know how unpredictable it is.
हम्म.
And जैसे बाकी sports के लिए, with your whatever knowledge you have, things are, you are able to predict things in a certain way. But cricket is especially the most unpredictable out of all the fantasy sports.
हम्म.
Um, so ये lineup optimizer, I tried to use RotoWire, which I was using for the other sports for many
ओके.
years.
ओके.
I've been a member of the website.
हम्म.
But for cricket, somehow it is not complete.
ओके.
So I was searching on Google कि ऐसा कुछ है option, and that's when I came across Perfect Lineup.
ओके.
Um, so basically, I've been using it for about 2 years now.
हम्म.
और मैंने उसमें हर एक चीज ट्राई किया in different ways. First, I used to only generate जो random lineups आते थे, all the different combinations.
हाँ हाँ.
Um, just a minute. So that used to work out sometimes, but then again I tried to switch कि मैं अपने
हम्म.
खुद की टीम डालता था. I used to use my team feature, and then I put all the teams there, and then जब lineup out होता है, I do autofill, and then that is what I've been doing recently, which has
ओके.
given some success.
हाँ हाँ
Uh,
हाँ.
so basically I had a few weeks back, I got one of the teams from Perfect Lineup, and I finished second place in one of
वाओ.
the Grand Leagues.
वाओ.
I got 9,500 rupees.
That's so cool. ओके.
Yeah. So, that's probably the first time that I've won
हाँ हाँ.
um, anything really in the top 10.
हम्म.
So um, I've been using it on and off because as if time permits me. But usually, just when there's a big tournament and when it
हम्म.
comes to cricket, I make sure that I put um, some teams on there so that and it's also like I'm just passionate about it. It's not only about winning.
हम्म.
So that's one of the reasons why
So
I play.
basically, you love the game. That's why fantasy is something
Right, right.
that keeps coming back to that keeps bringing back to you basically the sport.
Yeah.
So wonderful. So tell us one thing. What do you play the most? Like Grand League, small league? What is like your type
So
fantasy playing?
that's the thing. It depends on the mood.
हाँ
कभी कभी I get fed up. I get fed up. यार इसमें कुछ नहीं हो रहा Grand League. So then I play head to head a lot.
हाँ.
But again, with head to head, it's so world right. कुछ भी हो सकता है.
हम्म.
And again, if I lose a lot in that, then again I switch to Grand League. So ऐसे ही
Okay.
होता है. But
So to
sports wise, NFL was on Dream 11. So
mm-hmm.
I'm a big follower of NFL for last say 10-15 years.
Okay.
Because I watch NFL
Mm-hmm.
live. So I used to play that a lot, but I guess it didn't work out with the point system and everything in Dream 11. So I think this season they've scrapped it.
Okay.
And NBA I'm a regular with NBA.
Okay.
And cricket, if it's on TV, I make sure and I have the time to watch it. I like
Mm.
watching it, and I put a fantasy team, then I enjoy it more, basically.
Yeah, that's when the fantasy game and real game is happening parallelly.
Right. So
Yeah.
now, like for example, today I was at home and I was watching Big Bash.
Mm-hmm.
So I put a few teams on there just for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how many lineups you typically make for a game? Or I would say how
So
many teams you make?
so it depends. It's usually between 6 to 10.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what kind of research that you go through in terms of making your own teams? What are the tools that you use, or what are the websites or places that you go, or the
So
people you refer to?
one thing I really like in the app is you have an expert advice um,
Yeah.
feature where it redirects you to the other websites.
Mm-hmm.
Trick Tracker is one of the websites that I used to use exclusively before.
Okay.
Um, and then there are some other websites um, that's there on the app.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so that I find useful. And then I sort of just put a few teams on the My Teams feature.
Mm-hmm.
And when the lineup is out, I do autofill.
Okay.
Usually, if I have the time to. Otherwise, and then I just shuffle the captains and vice captains. So that's it.
Okay. So you said that you've been using Perfect Lineup for a while now. So what is the thing that you like the best about app? Any feature that you would like to mention, or anything that you love about the app?
Like I mentioned, the My Teams feature
Okay.
because it shows you vertically the number. If there are 10 teams, you can
Mm-hmm.
scroll vertically through the teams, each
Mm-hmm.
team. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes it easier for you to sort of um, make sure that all the teams are unique. Because
Uh-huh.
if you're playing Grand League, that's quite important because you can't just have the same batsman and the same. So that I find it very useful. So
Okay.
uh, and I can chop and change.
Mm-hmm.
And the autofill is good too. Stats wise, I don't actually have the time to get into much of the stats because that's quite exhaustive if you look at it. There's so
Yeah.
many things. Um, so I rarely ever open that part,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it makes it a bit complicated.
Yeah,
And then for
that's
me, it's all about. I think it's just finally it just comes down to pure luck because first of all the players you pick and then what's happening on the field, that's none of that is in your control. And
mm-hmm.
when it comes to cricket, it's especially very unpredictable.
Absolutely. But
So
Perfect Lineup
I
caters to
like
the.
the I like the part that all the players, you have a maximum number of, you're able to generate maximum number of different permutations and combinations. So that's
Mhm.
the best part.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, Perfect Lineup tries to cater to a range of fantasy players, the ones who are very casual and at the beginner level, so they can get along the app and create the auto teams. And then there is a extra exhaustive
Yeah,
portion of exhaustive section of the app where people get to see so many research,
right,
so many stats, so
right,
many graphs and figures, and then they take their own time and their own depth. So it totally depends on who you are and what kind of thing that you're planning to drive from the app, and what kind of teams you want to create, and what
right,
is your motive actually. Are you here to make money, or are you here to just have fun?
right. So
So
that's what separates the professional from the casual uh, fantasy player actually.
yeah, absolutely. Do you have any suggestion, like anything that you think would be very, very useful if Perfect Lineup does it, or anything that we you would like Perfect Lineup to improve so that your experience
Uh,
is further smoothened or improved about
I
the
like
fantasy?
I like the way it's set up, but just a few things. When it comes to Big Bash, they have an X sub
Mm-hmm.
thing which Perfect Lineup doesn't seem to take into account when it generates a lineup because a lot of the players when you auto generate some
Mm-hmm.
most of the players they might not be in the starting lineup. I mean, you do get 4 points for those players, but it's not likely that those guys are going to play. But those players are regularly included in the generated lineup, if you know what I mean.
Can you say that more clearly? I mean,
So this is Big Bash is a tournament where there is
okay.
a different rule for there is a substitution
Okay.
which can be made. So
Mm.
some players, two players for each team are named as substitutes when the
Mm.
match starts,
Okay.
and those players are going to be on the bench,
Mm.
uh, but it's not necessary that they play. They only
Yeah.
play if they sub day.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
So when the lineup is auto-generated,
Hmm.
uh, the app doesn't seem to take that into account,
Okay.
which is it's a very specific thing because it's only this rule is only applies to Big Bash
Okay.
as a so um,
So
Big
yours,
Bash
so
is the main
yours,
rule.
yours catered to a case when you have created your team long ahead of the match started, and when it is declared that some of your players are not playing, and then you would like the
No,
substitution to happen.
even after the lineup is out,
Okay.
it's actually after the lineup is out that these players are named as
Hmm.
substitutes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So they do get 4 points, but
Hmm.
if they don't play throughout the match,
Hmm.
they will never have a catch or they will never score a run, and they
Okay.
will be at 4 points
Okay.
till the end of
Okay.
the match. But it's very specific issue. It's only for the Big Bash tournament actually.
Yeah, because we need to pair our algorithm according to the way games are being played in India, the way cricket is played in India, and
Right.
according to all those things. So wonderful. You've been playing from quite some time. You are an early
Yeah.
adopter to fantasy cricket. What is your number one advice to people who are beginning and who would like to maximize their winnings?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I guess you just have to go with your gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Stats are there out there. Stats are always going to be there, but especially when it comes to cricket, like I said, I think if you're playing the Grand League, the maximum amount of combinations and permutation combination has to be tested because Dream 11 especially does give you so many teams
Yeah, yeah.
option. Um, and Perfect Lineup is the perfect app. I don't think there's another app like this. Um, so it does give you the maximum type of combinations that can be there. Um, so yeah, I look forward to any improvements that you do make. I mean, there've been some features that you've added in the past few months.
Yes, 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 yes. So our
But
team
there,
is constantly working, and in fact, very very soon the whole new user experience with new whole new user experience the app would be launched, and further the experience of people playing in the people using Perfect Lineup to improve their games would be more streamlined in terms of where are they looking, what kind of lineups they are creating, and our
yeah,
whole emphasis is making it more fun and it more easier and it more easy and engaging for people to enjoy playing as well as creating their lineup. So one last question, Geet, if you win 1 crore rupees in the Grand League, what are you going to do with it?
I don't know. Right now, I mean, my business is quite new, and I'm having a lot of capital problems.
Okay.
There's a lot of loans, so I'm actually praying that somehow, if I do win it, I can put it back in my business and try to grow it. Um, you know how any startup or any new company has all these problems.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, in fact, me and my wife, both of us, I got her into this, and now she is also a daily fantasy player. She knows how important it is.
That's so rare. Women seldom play fantasy in India, especially fantasy cricket in India.
Yes, yes,
So
and
that's
our kid, we have an infant at home. She's on all like all the
uh-huh.
fantasy.
That's so cool that along with it.
When I'm busy, she makes sure that she does something from home.
Okay.
She's also on Perfect Lineup.
Okay, 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 wonderful. So that's so amazing to know that being a young mom of a 2-year-old, your wife found interest in playing
Yeah,
fantasy cricket. That is so absolutely different to know. And
yeah.
is she a business partner too?
Yes, yes, she is.
Wow.
But actually, everything was supposed to be pre-COVID, and
Uh-huh.
but our kid was born, and then now she's busy with motherhood,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
kind of alone. But
yeah.
my kid is growing up fast, so she'll be back with me.
Okay. Okay, Geet, it was wonderful talking to you, and I wish you all the very, very best
Thank
because
you so much.
I can feel the pain of entrepreneurship, and I can also feel the challenges of being new parents and at the same time starting a
Yeah,
business, and that too in the cruel FMCG industry of
right.
snack industry where
Yes,
there are
yes.
so many big
The
players.
margins are the
Margins
margins
are
are
less, and
very
it's
low.
it's less about the actual product and more about the distribution. So I so feel the challenges that as a family you all are into. So I wish you, in fact, not just me, the whole Perfect Lineup team wishes you all the very, very best. And may
Thank
you
you.
win the 1 crore prize. And that,
I just want to say one last thing.
yeah.
Last month I had joined or I had subscribed
Mm-hmm.
um, to Perfect Lineup through the App Store,
Okay.
but it didn't go through. I don't know. The money was deducted, but the membership was not activated, and
Okay.
it stayed like that for a month.
Uh-huh.
I tried to complain through the WhatsApp customer service,
Mm-hmm.
but there was no. The turnaround time was too high,
I'll
and
see to it. I'll see to it. I'll see to it. I'll
so
definitely see to it.
you guys actually owe me 69 bucks. So, and then what happened was I let the subscription end, the
Okay.
month, and then I resubscribed
Hmm.
for a prepaid, which was 89 bucks.
Okay.
So now I'm on that. I just wanted to be able to use it, but I wasn't for a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I recently activated it about a week back, actually.
Okay. 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 No, no, I'll definitely see to it, and I'll have our teams look into what you went through and what is the
Yeah,
best way we can settle it. At least we can refund you your 69 rupees.
yeah. I mean, I don't care much. But just being able to use the app was important.
Yeah.
I constantly kept telling the person that too, that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
money that important, but
Yeah,
just put it.
recently a lot of changes happened when RBI changed the guidelines of app
Yes,
not
yes.
being
I
able
think
to
it has
detect.
something to do
Yeah.
with that.
So
I'm sure.
along with that timeline, the apps went through a lot of hiccups, not just
Yeah.
our app, but in fact all the other apps, even I personally subscribe to, including Apple Music and including Canva. They all went through a hiccup where they had to ask you payments over and over again and again, and sometimes payment were stuck. So it will be all right, and I wish you all the very best, and
Okay.
I
Thank
hope
you.
that very, very soon you come over the challenges of being new parents and new entrepreneurs,
Yes,
and you become seasoned everywhere you go, including fantasy. Thank you so
yes.
much for talking to us
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you, Geet.
Okay.
Bye
Bye.
bye.